Welcome to Collecting Chaos and the Monday Morning Show. Normally I have a little outline of what I'm going to do on Monday mornings, and this time I don't have one. I'm just going to go by... I'm just going to play it by ear. I'll show you some things. I'll talk about some stuff. And then I'll show you some more things. And if you want to see what those things are, keep watching! Be right back after the intro. Let's get started with opening some Marvel 3-packs from Walmart. I noticed a lot of people are doing this on their channel now, so I might have to stop. I did it because they're easy for me to get. The Walmart I go to carries them, so let me know if it's something you want me to stop doing since everybody else seems to be doing it now, or if you want me to keep on going and continue doing it. Let me know in the comments. Here we go. The first comic from the first pack is Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I don't know, is that an 81st print? It very well could be. Who knows with Marvel? So definitely a variant cover, so I'll have to look it up and find out what edition it is. Let's see, what's this one? Ooh. I can't tell. It's one of those weird ones. Iron Fist number 73, Marvel Legacy. Well, I like Iron Fist, so I have a lot of the early ones. I'll show them off eventually. And the variant edition of Venom #1, annual. Venom annual #1. I've got a couple of these now. So that's the first pack. Let's take a look at the second pack. The reason I'm cutting that corner to corner is that less chance of me damaging the comic as I take them out. I can just slide it right on out of there. First comic is The Amazing Spider-Man variant edition number 24. I guess that's a sketch cover by Joe Quesada. Kind of a nice cover. Next up we have a second printing of Star #1. Don't think I've ever heard of Star. don't think I really care. Oh well. And another of the symbiote Spider-Man, #1. I know, you don't pronounce it symbiote, you pronounce it symbiote. Potato, potato. I've been pronouncing it symbiote for 30 years. I seriously doubt I'm going to change. I have tried. My brain just won't function that way. So get used to it. I'm old. Let's see what's in this third box. Oh, that's not good. That's a little scary, a Captain Marvel ad. Tony Stark, Iron Man, #9, variant edition. I don't have this one. Of course, I don't really collect it, so it doesn't matter. Here's another one of those. This one, Monsters Unleashed and Fantastic Four. What is it? It's Monsters Unleashed, #7, variant edition. Kinda cool. If I keep getting these, I might end up with all of these little things. Oh, no. Why? Why does this have to be? I didn't look at these when I bought them. I just grabbed 3. And that's the 4th one of those I've gotten. It's the Marvel variant of Captain Marvel #1. I've got 2 in my lights already. It did not improve it any. It's still Captain Marvel #1. I'm sorry. If you like this series, great. I just don't care for the character in her current incarnation. I liked her as Ms. Marvel. I liked her when she first was introduced in the very first Captain Marvel story. That was Marvel. But yeah, they're trying to push her as the most powerful being in the Marvel universe, where you have, gods, and she's mortal, but you have gods, you have demigods, you have world eaters like Galactus, you have the Silver Surfer who wields the power cosmic, and several others that wield cosmic power. You've got the Eternals, the Immortals. You've got so many different people that should be so much more powerful than her. How can she be the most powerful when she's just a freaking human? Oh, excuse me, that was retcon. She's no longer just a human. She's now human with Kree blood, so what the hell? Yeah. Very disappointing. My favorite cover of these, I think this one. I like this cover the best. And I think I'll use that as my thumbnail for this, in case you hadn't seen it already. Yeah. That'll do for this segment. Recently, I bought a bunch of Classics Illustrated, which you would know unless you've been hiding under a rock or new to the channel. And one of them was coverless. But I found the cover wrapped around a different comic. Unfortunately, it's in bad shape. So I'm going to put the cover back together. Yeah, it had a water stain on it, and I tried a new method to get the water stain out without making the comic come apart, and that obviously that new method failed. So yeah, I'm gonna try to put this back together and put it back on the comic, and I will show you the result at the end. Oh, which one is it? Back cover. It is A Tale of Two Cities, which I have the comic for right here. And I didn't know which one. You can see here, this still has the water stain on it. The water stain came out pretty good, but like I said, it's, yeah. I could have soaked it more and gotten some of this dust shadow off, I think, but I decided not to. Why push my luck, right? And I'm going to put it back together. I will show it at the end of the video and let you know what printing it is. It's the HRN number is 51, so that should be around a 1958 or 1959 printing. Or no, 1948 or 1949 printing. So it's still golden age by the new standards, which I've given up, and I'm going to adopt them like everybody else. I distinctly remember the golden age ending in 1946 for many, 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 many years, but they've extended it to 1954 now, and I'm tired of arguing. I'm just going to accept it. The comic collecting hobby changes over time, and you can't always live in the past, so there you go. I'll show you this again a little bit later. This next segment, I'm going to talk about a few comics that I read this week and which one I like the best, and pick out my favorite cover of the week that I received this week. Does that make sense? We're going to start with Future State Immortal Wonder Woman #1. This story was not bad. It wasn't the best I've ever read. It was okay. It's a little confusing, but then a lot of the Future State stories are. Yeah, I'll keep reading it. It's, like I said, it's not bad. It was a little confusing. The backup story is one where Nubia is Wonder Woman. This has a lot of action, and it was pretty good. Again, the ending was a little confusing, so. Yeah. Nubia and her auntie drinking. A little confusing. Not a bad, really nice Peach Momoko cover if you're into her. I like some of her stuff. This cover I actually really like. I wanted the regular cover, but my LCS was out of it. But I should be getting one in before too long. I did order one from another source. Next up is Future State Catwoman #1. This was an interesting story. Didn't have a backup. It was a one story for the issue. I'm looking forward to #2 to see how it goes. To see where they take it from there. I'm not going to tell you what the story was, but it was interesting. Basically, she's hijacking a train going out of Gotham. It's a nice cover. This is a variant cover. Again, I wasn't able to get the regular cover, but that's alright. I like that cover better. You know, was not impressed with this one at all. Good thing it's only going to be a few issues. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy any more after this. But I did start reading it, so I want to finish reading the story, hoping that it picks up a little bit. This one, Future State Superman Worlds of War. The Superman story was pretty good. I could get into that. DC, you're screwing up. I read part 1 of the Mr. Miracle storyline. I wasn't that intrigued by it. It was in, I think, Batman Next. Was not very intrigued by it at all, but, you know, it was in Batman Next. No, it was in Superman, Man of Metropolis. Or Superman of Metropolis #1. It was okay. Could take or leave it. This is... It says Time and Effect, part 1, but it isn't. This is the third part of the story. This takes place after Superman of Metropolis #2, which hasn't come out yet. I don't like to read stories out of order. So I'm not going to bother reading any more of that. And if this was a one-shot, I'd be perfectly happy not buying any more. Like I said, I'm going to get them all because I decided, because I told my LCS I was going to buy all of the Future State. And after reading through this and seeing what they did with the... yeah, I'm having second thoughts. A lot of the Future State is good stuff. Most of it I could do without, to be honest with you. Next up, now these are not in Mylar, these are in polybags because I ran out of Mylars. They will be going into polybags very soon. Batman, Catwoman, I could not decide which cover I liked best, so I bought both of them. Damn you, DC, for putting out 2 gorgeous covers. I'm enjoying this story very much. I do recommend it. If you can't get the first issue, wait till the trade comes out, because we all know it's going to have a trade, and read it that way. But I do highly recommend the story. Really like this cover. Like this one a tiny bit better. But my favorite read for this week, and it just kept me in stitches, kept me laughing the whole time. Little Ghost #1. Okay, I'm late to the party. It came out in 1958. It's 2011. What difference does it make? It was a great little read. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, there you go. That's my pick of the week. You can get these... you can probably find one on eBay for under $50. In decent condition. Matter of fact, you probably find it under 20 or 25, maybe even under 10. So, if you just want something fun to read, yeah, we had fun with this one. Now, my favorite cover of the week of the comics that I picked up, it was actually a new comic, which doesn't always happen. I have 4 that I selected. My 4th pick, Future State Catwoman #1, the variant cover. It's an art germ cover, and I just think it's gorgeous. My 3rd pick Robin Hood Iron Maiden #1 from Zenescope. And I think this is just a 2-part series they're doing. I actually really enjoy these. I might be one of the few people on the planet that does. So I like the Zenescope line. I like their art. Their cover art is always good. Their interior art is not bad. And the stories intrigue me. They keep me wanting to read more. My #3 cover of the week. And all of these are new, which kind of surprised me. I expected to have at least one older cover in here. Batman Catwoman #1, the regular issue. I just love this cover so much. Just really awesome. But my #1 pick, I'll show you in just a minute. I want to do an honorable mention for Iron Fist #1, Heart of the Dragon. Yeah, I kind of like Iron Fist, but this cover is just awesome. It just says it all, as far as I'm concerned. So, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I have not yet read it, but you know, Larry Hama wrote it, and of course he did. What was it? G.I. Joe that he was writing? Yeah, I think he was writing G.I. Joe for Marvel back in the last century. So yeah, that gets an honorable mention. But my favorite cover that I purchased this week, which is also a new comic, and it was not cheap, was $7.99. Van Helsing 50. That to me is just a gorgeous cover, not just because of the woman, but the background. Just she's silhouetted by this gothic thing, and yeah, and I enjoy reading this comic too, so that helps. Gee, it looks like Wonder Woman. And Flash. Yeah. I haven't read this one yet. High on my list of things to read. There you go. That's my favorite cover for this week. And here we go. A Tale of Two Cities, Classics Illustrated #6. Reattached to the cover. I mean, it's still fair to good condition, but should last a lot longer now. It is a 6th printing. I forgot to check the year it was printed, but I'm fairly certain it was 1948 or 1949. And I think this was a new cover. Meaning they changed the cover between the 5th and the 6th print. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to reading this. Now that it's more or less complete. Got a little chunk out of the paper there, a little bit there. Like I said, I would rate this fair to good. Because the cover's complete, so or the comic is complete even though the cover was detached and in 2 pieces. With that said, I guess that's it for this Monday morning video that's going to be late because I got everything done late and stayed up too late on Sunday night. So I wasn't able to finish the video until Monday morning, which is why it's being uploaded so late. Don't forget, before you handle your comics, before you handle your collectibles, wash your hands. Now, I know there's going to be people saying, you should be wearing gloves before you handle your comics. I'm sorry, I don't do that. I wash my hands. I've washed my hands up to 6 times in an hour to make sure there's no dirt or oil on my hands when I'm handling my comics. Because I like the feel of the comic and I can't feel them through gloves. I put fingerprints on maybe 3 comics in the last 60 years. And yeah, that includes when I was a little kid. That's about how long I've been reading comics, is about 60 years. It works for me. I'm just saying, wash your hands before you handle your comics, before you handle your collectibles. That protects you in 2 different ways. It protects the comics because you're not going to get those oils on your hands from your hands to the comics. It protects your hands from any dirt that's on the comics. It's good for your comics. It's good for your health. We'll see you next video. Bye. I need to put this in Mylar.